me see.
No, it's not. I'll put it
Oh,
in my
no,
profile.
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, you can only put it if you got a plus. That's crazy.
No, you only go. You better stop acting up.
They owe us money. I'm allowed to bitch and complain about that.
Not they owe you
God
money
damn.
when I found out you didn't even vote. That's crazy.
You know how much they fucking... I voted before. They ain't fucking taking my time every
But your ass didn't vote this
carry
time.
from one season
But
to
you-
another one.
What you think? You vote and that shit is a nice vote?
Only
That's
one
right.
time
If
it
it-
carries forward.
If it matters, I'm a vote. I ain't voting in a rigged poker game.
Well, it matters right now.
I feel like it's gonna matter.
But everybody that thinks like you, that's the reason we fucking lost.
I disagree.
Oh, my vote don't matter. I'll vote next time.
Well, ever since Citizens United, our vote hasn't really mattered on top of electoral college. Fucking shit gerrymandering, but that's neither
But
here
if you
nor
had
there.
voted, this shit wouldn't be happening, but you didn't vote, so that's why it's
He's in
happening.
California though, so I guess that's.
I help people register.
But then
to
you wanna
vote.
sit here
I
and
feel like
complain.
that's enough. No, I don't. I want to go outside. I want to march.
Does your family live in Cali too?
Yeah. No, one does. My father lives in Vegas, but
And what is Vegas, blue or red?
that's a good question.
The research, but I mean, and I feel irresponsible saying, I'm not going to say it. I'll just tell you this. Once you get into crypto and you understand and you understand how to navigate it, there's so much money to be made. And you can say like, oh yeah, BMO, well, you got lucky, like lottery type stuff. And it's like, you know, if I can repeat it, then I don't think it's a lottery, but it's the knowledge that you had to find and invest in. Like, there are some incredible things. Listen, guys, and I don't want to say this irresponsibly, but you're forcing me to say, oh, a spider's on me. Oh, wow, hello. I don't like you, though, because you kind of look a little scary, so I have to blow it off. It's like a money printer. I'll tell you that. It is a money printer. And if you know how to invest and where to invest and how to, you know, like for example, staking or hodling, LPing, you do those things, you have this is the highest appreciating asset, and you will not be able to make that amount of money in Bitcoin with the same amount starting value. Not in Bitcoin, not in any other asset on the planet. So I feel that.
Bima, can I exchange the amount of time that I spend recording Clubhouse for a new undiscovered cryptocurrency that has, you know, 100x capability?
I rather not, but.
Well, have you heard of Sourcecoin? Because that's the biggest crypto coin I'm investing in. Not many people know that Sourcecoin was the forerunner to Bitcoin. It's the primary central coin that the first crypto community ever created. It's called Sourcecoin. It trades at $1, but I'm sure it can go to $1 million a coin because it's the source of all coins. Have you heard of Sourcecoin, Bima?
Never heard of it.
Well, I'm not pitching you on Sourcecoin, nor do I think maybe you should be an investor. I don't know if you're qualified, but Sourcecoin is the original cryptocurrency coin created in 1994 by a team of MIT engineers who have exclusively held this cryptocurrency in reserve for moments like today when crypto is finally becoming the dominant form of financial exchange as opposed to dollars. So if you want more information on Sourcecoin, just go to my profile and click my YouTube link and click subscribe.
So is it its own blockchain? Like what are you talking about? What blockchain is it on?
Not only is it its own blockchain, it's technically considered the blockchain or the source of all blockchains.
Very interesting. How do you spell that?
Source, Source, coin.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
You never heard of Sourcecoin? Oh my gosh! And you
Never,
call
never
yourself a
heard of it.
crypto expert? I can't believe you haven't heard of Sourcecoin.
Never heard of it. Is there another name for it?
No, it's been going by Sourcecoin for like 29 years now.
What's the ticker symbol?
Source, SRCE. Can't believe you haven't heard of Sourcecoin. Jeez. It's got like a $300 billion market cap. You never heard of Sourcecoin? Source. You guys don't. I can't believe it. I guess maybe I don't spend enough time in the Bitcoin rooms anymore.
Never, ever, ever heard of it. Any developers? What's it like a developer's name? Do you have any name drops?
He's putting us on it. He's putting us on. The SRCE is not even listed on CoinGecko.
That's just not true.
$300 billion market cap.
Satoshi, they say Satoshi was one of the original developers, but he dropped out and went to form Bitcoin. But Sourcecoin was the original.
Nobody can say that because they don't know who he is. Or somebody making a statement that Satoshi was part of something. It's nothing.
Well, Satoshi in Japanese means red dragon. So they say that, one of the original founders of Sourcecoin was the red dragon. Oh, this was just a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, I would like to know what the punchline is.
Well, we'll see. We'll see in the chat. He put, that I was connected to Source. So I was just talking about a hypothetical Sourcecoin.
I liked it. You know what? I liked how you picked up the theme and picked up on it right away. And it was attractive. It was a great combination of ideas. If there isn't a Sourcecoin, there should be. One should be connected to it.
A bunch of Bitcoin geeks.
Well, I'm trying to make the point that what Bima is technically doing is kind of like steering, or she uses all these technical terms like hodling, straddling. I mean, yes, there's some layover with the stock market, but what I'm trying to say is those buzzwords are what you want to avoid in life, because that's basically, the start of a rug pull. The real source, unfortunately, is the dollar. And everything is delimited, or, it's broken up into dollars, which are like bits. So all the stock market, every single stock, is primarily denominated in dollars. And that's a huge pool of dollars that are just not in dollars per se, or digital. So the dollar is very transmutational. It can be digital in terms of like your checking account, savings account, or a money market account. And then it can be in the stock market as securities or stocks, preferred or Class A or Class B or Class C, whatever, across thousands of companies. In 2023, I took my life savings and I broke it up into about 500 different stocks, and over the course of a year, it completely represented a bell-shaped curve. 10% of the corporations went out of business, and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe there were those many failures in my portfolio. But when you look at the biggest winners, there were 10X's in the portfolio, like Nvidia and others. But the point is diversity in your portfolio is your friend, but diversity in the real world is merely political.
It's very easy in a bull market to invest and make yourself seem like a genius because you're more likely to win. And that's Bima. I've just met you today, and you seem fascinating and interesting, and you seem like you know what you're talking about. But I wonder if there's a little bit of that going on with investing in random cryptocurrency coins, because there's a lot of that in that community, and I don't suspect that that's you again. But there's a lot of just, investing in a bull market and then seeming like a genius afterward, and they don't really talk about what happens during the 2 bear market years.
Yeah, I mean, Bima, when you look at the index of all these shitcoins, to me, it's unbelievable that there's that much market cap out there, but it's probably not like authentic because there's maybe not that much liquidity. But the point is, like if it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, I mean, in my opinion, run for the fucking hills. And even then, only put like 1% of your life savings in Bitcoin or Ethereum because there's just too much diversity out there that you got to have a lot of money, like $10 million or a million to even want to like own, digital assets, which really are just collectibles. That's what I don't think a lot of these Bitcoiners who are Bitcoin maxis and Bitcoin utopians, they don't realize that they're all or nothing. And a lot of it deals with virtue signaling as well as being political. But, a lot of it is utopian because they want to break the Federal Reserve and the dollar hold monopoly. But it's just political. So that's not the basis for a good investment. I mean, the basis for a good investment is that it's a good business. It's run well. It's profitable. They got a deep moat. Um, you know, but you can go into the stock market and pull up 100 stocks right now that have negative, quarterly earnings of $10 to $20 million. There's a lot of stocks that are basically completely bankrupt. So, and they still are never, they've never seemed to fall because they got cash flow coming in. Like these real estate investment trusts, how they keep that scheme going is basically, it's like negative erosion. All these analysts just sit there and say, oh, okay, they do all this REIT analysis, and there's just REIT people that all they do is analysis on REIT, which is like what you said with crypto. People are just hyper focused on that ledger, looking at it nonstop. It becomes an addiction, aka a hypnosis or a trance. And so once you're able to disengage from the stock market, it's the same thing. Clubhouse is like an audio social version of somebody who has to go to work and look at the stock market and do analysis all day and rearrange the portfolio and constantly optimize. So I hope that makes sense. It's up to you to choose how you want to spend your time, optimizing whatever it is that you're trying to optimize.
Yeah, I think for people that are like listening into this and they just want to make like a quick buck and it's just like, yeah, I want to make some money. I would say, yeah. You're probably better off in some S&P or investing in something like that. But
Well, you gotta have money. You gotta have money prior. What I'm talking about is the bigger game is how do I make money with no money? Because the truth is, more money has been made with no money than money has been made with money. So, just filming casual conversations on Clubhouse, posting them to YouTube, and then monetizing your YouTube account, and that type of value creation, because that doesn't take much investment to actually do. Anyways, I'm just saying, if you can find little hacks, you can make money in the publishing industry, or it's arbitrage as well. Publishers and advertisers.
The goal shouldn't be to make more money. The goal is to make more Bitcoin. That's my goal. I get $5. Bitcoin gonna be here long past the dollar. So it's not about making that dollar. It's about finding ways to, I guess, make dollars, but you turn them dollars to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I have no intention in going back to dollars for my Bitcoin.
I mean, I could create like a marketing campaign and call it bitcoinhypnosis.com or something. And, basically get people to give or donate Bitcoin, to this startup. I mean, that's kind of what Isaac Hayes does with Fanbase. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. Like it's basically what Wrigley said. If I had $1 million, I would spend $999,000 on advertising and a penny on the product. So that's, if you go to the Bitcoin room on Clubhouse right now, they're on here 7 days a week, 24 hours a day in like a Bitcoin trance. And there's all these actors that come in on the stage and do their Bitcoin dance and Bitcoin song, and then they depart, and then the room simmers, and then so I'm just saying it's your game. You choose what game you want to play, but there's a lot of games, and anybody who's just all one thing, it's very boring. Like during Thanksgiving, you put it all in your mouth, and that's the best flavor outcome.
Yeah, that's interesting. You put it all in your mouth. Put it in my mouth. Well, yeah, so We are in the mouth. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a super crypto snob. There's gonna have to be a lot of criteria met before I even take a look at any type of shit. So most of the time, what happens is if you were to launch this whatever bullshit that you said, you're gonna get all the people that are ignorant. That you're not gonna get the real investors. You're not gonna get the big heavy wheels because they're not gonna invest in that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I'm in, perfect, flawless. Operation 100% uptime, never hacked, audited multiple times, no downtime, and open source. You know what I'm saying? Like can't be interfered with the government. Bitcoin, I think might have a good chance, but I have a lot of personal issues with what happened in the very early stages of Bitcoin and the developers and that whole thing. If anyone would like to, if anyone's interested, I recommend a good book called, what was it called? It's by Roger Ver. But check that out. Very good stuff. And, so you know what? There's truth. Truth is a little bit, it's in the middle, right? It's not either side. You could definitely make money if you know what you're doing. And I think that it's also irresponsible, now that I'm thinking about it, like it's irresponsible for me to lie to everybody too. You know what I mean? Like I went from never having more than a couple, $1,000 in my savings to something that I couldn't even fathom. And that was because of the appreciating asset that you know what I'm saying? Like I would have never gotten that in any other, unless I had the momentum, the money, It's like I turned 2,000, like I started with just $2,000, right? The amount of money that I would have had to invest to make what I ended up making, I would have had to have a few million, you know what I mean? Like I'm just telling you. But you gotta do it right. Wendy Crypto, I really appreciate something like a little formula that she says for people that want to start up. Take a little bit of money if you're interested, right? Take a little bit of money and she calls make a moon bag. She calls it a moon bag. So take only what you can absolutely afford to lose, right? What you absolutely can afford to lose, maybe $500, $1,000, $2,000, right? Throw it in. Don't ever put any more fiat into this. And then just navigate, listen to it, learn everything, learn where you can, move things, right? I'm totally DeFi, no centralized exchanges. You will never catch me on a centralized exchange. You will never, at DeFi all the way 100, right? But also there's a lot more responsibility and accountability. But I don't do the middleman thing. I don't do the, you're gonna take my keys. Yeah, no, thank you. Right? That's not what crypto is about. Crypto is for you to hold your own keys. If you don't have your keys, that's not crypto. That's some other bullshit that you're getting into, and you're likely gonna get fucking, scammed or whatever the hell else. So that's my spiel. But there is money to be made.
Without a doubt, you can make money, but way more people will end up losing money. But insider or at least well-researched to even have a chance. But the one claim, everything you said sounded correct, except the one claim you made about you're only invested in projects that can't be fucked with by the government. I don't understand how that's possible, because Bitcoin, as far as I know, is the only coin that doesn't have some kind of organized leadership board or foundation that powers it, or a governing class, or some entity that owns pieces of it. So I don't understand how they're protected from governments fucking with them.
There is another, and I'm not gonna promote it here, but the best thing that I can say is you gotta look. Just keep looking. It does exist. There are a couple that exist. Really good stuff, where it doesn't matter. Like even Ethereum could be shut down, right? All it needs to be government votes, right? Exactly. Not this. And it's because the people are the ones who hold. You see what I'm saying? similar to Bitcoin.
So if you mention the names of the coins, you're not promoting them. You're just, for the sake of conversation.
I know, but there's too much controversy around crypto, and I can't do that irresponsibly. But there is.
Yeah, we should maybe add that to in the muff rules. No cryptocurrency promotion of any kind whatsoever.
You just lost my vote that I was never going to give you to begin with.
Man, too.
Well, I
You
mean,
can change it around if you start supporting DeFi. You know what I mean? Like if you support DeFi, we could talk. But
well, the problem is, you can promote it or you can support it, but keep the government out of it. Keep the Federal Reserve out of it. So if they want to do CBDC and they're going to create this international, super coin with all the world central banks, which is technically pretty much what they already have, there's no chance of ever breaking the global banking cartel's monopoly on all of our lives. That's the true ledger of everyone's life. Your social security number has a huge database connected to it, and you are the recipient of all that engineering. So, the social security number is a very powerful tool that a lot of people around the world want. Why do you think all these people coming across they're coming here because they want the social security, which is really just a number. They want to get connected to that ledger, to that blockchain, to that network. So that's one way to look at. It's a different approach to try to visualize how to maybe make changes to the game theory, to what the government.
I'm not even sure what you even said. Could you think you could condense it and give me the abridged
Yeah,
in a sentence?
Every American with a social security is secretly connected in a network which is tied to a database, and that's your social security.
Okay, so what does it have to do with DeFi? I'm sorry.
Because you're promoting DeFi, but you're not also criticizing government DeFi, which is what the Federal Reserve is doing, and secretly with other governments. I mean, I could Google articles about the CBDC. But what I'm saying is they want to create FedCoin, which supersedes all other coins in the same way that the dollar supersedes all other global currencies. Does that make sense, Bima?
Yeah, I think you definitely do not spend enough time in cryptocurrency communities because I just got what you said, and that's exactly why that's what it is. Like, we absolutely 100. Oh, there he goes again. 130. What is this? No, it's very outspoken. I mean, like the biggest names, and the Fed. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is huge. This is how we. Of course we talk about it. Of course we talk about how the CBDCs, they're just hijacking, and it's not crypto, and it's dangerous, and it's, yeah. You just have to get yourself, you got an X account? You should go into X, follow some of the biggest crypto founders, some of the biggest cryptocurrencies, do DeFi, good stuff, and then just chill out a little bit. Go into some of those X spaces and just listen. They're very critical.
No, I got it. But see, there's a flip side to this coin. You do realize that, right? That is joining Wall Street or working and making money in asset management, and being a part of the network. Sometimes it's better to work inside the system than it is outside the system, because inside the system, there's a lot more fruit to be eaten.
I'm so lost. I feel like you're talking in circles.
No, I'm just saying.
I what he says 90% of the time.
I'm just saying, no matter where you find yourself on the spectrum, you're always still in the muff.
Big Red's making more sense than you. You guys long enough to get there.
I mean, I could eat a peach all day.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what movie that's from? That's a quote. Face Off.
Nah.
That's on Face Off, Castor Troy.
Damn, you even knew his name. Holy shit.
Do you know, growing up, I had a milkman, and he would deliver us. No, excuse me, sorry, messed up. It was an Eggman. It was my father's. Okay, how do I explain this? So my father, his dad had a guy named Frank, the milkman. Then Frank, the milkman, had a son named Frank, and then he did eggs. And then his son served my dad, and we had an Eggman. Yeah, this dude would pull up in the middle of the hood, okay? He was such a bad egg. Frank the Eggman, boy. Frank the Milkman? Or Frank the Eggman. So, this is Frank the Eggman, and he would pull up in the summertime. If he wasn't giving us some double yolker, eggs, he was bringing all this fruit, the peaches, the cherries. Oh my gosh, it was so incredible. All that he grew up right on the farm. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The cracker room is in progress. Oh my God.
You want to get out of the country?
I'm not going anywhere.
What is that?
I'm going to get Sean Archer. With your help.
Okay. Jacksonville. I saw one headline about that.
Like, summarize what the controversy is about that.
Are you talking about the Cracker Barrel controversy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they took the Cracker Barrel.
How are we supposed to do that?
They're comparing it to the whole changing the enchilada concept.
This is Sean Archer we're talking about. This isn't just some Boy Scout.
Fitch.
Well, no, besides, his house is probably alarmed up to wazoo.
Code is 10/1986. That's his dead son's birthday. Don't just break your heart.
That's brilliant. Slick. How is it that you know so much about Sean Archer?
I sleep with his wife.
Homie feelings gone.
I mean, that's the whole aesthetic of Cracker Barrel, though, is...
So that's what's getting a lot of backlash as well.
So
Yeah.
we're also mad that they're renovating the restaurants. I didn't even know that company still existed. Has anyone eaten there?
I've eaten there many times. When I heard when Monica starts talking about Cracker Barrel, I gotta tell you, to me, I can't stop laughing. Whenever she talks about Cracker Barrel, it's just, I don't know, Monica has a stigma, or I could be projecting on her, but I don't know. When she starts talking about Cracker Barrel, like Moose down there.
I want to go over there, but I'm scared. I don't want to irritate her.
Oh, actually, yeah, I guess we can't bring up, well, anyways. I need to review the rules.
You're not going to irritate her, Bima. Monica's a big girl. She can handle it. I pushed back on her pretty hard this morning. You did a great job. And she looked good.
I know it sounds like she's on the fence for a minute. She's like, I love arguing with my friends, but I'm not saying we're gonna stop being friends. I'm like, oh, she's my
No, she wouldn't. The thing of it is, more often than not in private, that's where I tend to really push back on Monica and some of her things. Mostly because, like, I don't want to give the impression that, like, I don't know. I don't think it's good necessarily to, like, when I push back on some of her ideas and some of the things that she does, I don't want to embarrass her. I don't want her to think that, like, I don't support her as a person. But there are definitely things that she does sometimes that I have words to say about, you know, and I respect her enough to handle it privately in most arenas. But I told her, I said, you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm pushing on you. I said, but I might push back on you in public sometimes, just because I think you're being a little obtuse, and she doesn't care.
Well, people can call what they do educational because they're playing some type of like academic clip, but then giggle about, a gaslight topic because they think they're being smart and they're secretly getting away with the gaslight. So
Right.
it's a game people are playing, but I would submit what's actually happening is stirring the pot and it's not educational. You have to pick up a book and read it into your cell phone on this app if you want to make a room educational. Otherwise, it's stirring the pot, it's gossip, it's drama, it's gaslight, and that's the game. Clubhouse is a very unique app in that way because humans are so smart and we're so multivariable and our brains are so powerful. We find a way to secretly stir the pot. And I'm secretly stirring the pot right now by saying, don't stir the
Yes, you
pot.
are.
See how that game works?
I know.
I mean,
I know.
yesterday you created a room about no more doxing, and the room becomes like a conversation about. So that's like a dox soup you cooked up, and therefore you perpetuate what happened in previous rooms.
No, I copied a room title. I copied a room title, John. The final answer on doxing. So I copied that room title, and then I gave the final answer on doxing.
This is what people take a long time to come around to. The medium is the message. This is what Clubhouse is. This is the medium of this app. And like it's inevitable. It's a circular train and it always comes back to this. And the crowd needs their bit of blood at regular intervals and that will never change.
This is very true.
Well, see, the medium is the message, but when you're not on Clown House, you're no longer working or connected to that medium, which is like saying you've chosen a different pastel or different medium. It's art. It comes down to the fact that most people don't realize it, but when you are here, you are creating art.
Yeah, I uninstalled the app for 7 months and then I slowly came back and now I am back on it and I know who hates who and why and it's so fucking stupid and so inconsequential unless you're on this app all the time and then it feels so weighty and palpable and irresistible also.
Why do we do it?
I refuse to keep track of who hates who. It's just too hard. I don't have the bandwidth for it. But if you do look up serendipity in the dictionary, the synonym is instigator, because that's what she is. She's an instigator. The biggest instigator on the app.
Wow. Wow. And I thought you loved me, Yosh.
Hey, is the grind dead? I don't see it anymore.
No, it's not dead.
You just prefer to be in the muff.
I just prefer to be in the muff. There's no better place to be. I think she is so well-rounded. Serendipity, I think you are probably one of the, if not the most well-rounded people on this app. You create such a nice, comfortable place to come and talk. Yeah. No, you really do.
She's the most grounded person, female, on the app.
Aw, listen to you guys giving me flowers. Y'all are so sweet.
God, we've known each other a long time now.
We have. Yep. We have for sure. Yosh is also one of the good ones. And Beam is a pretty good gal too, and she gets out of her anarchy stuff.
Have you ever gone to anarcho-poco?
I know. So, Anarchast?
No.
Do you know who runs Anarchapulco? The guy's name?
I thought still, but yeah. So I mean, I haven't been. I'm not like familiar with the workings of it, but it seems cool.
So like, I really like the producers, like the people, like that was like a 7 year, I think it was 7 years. It was like a really long. They were dedicated to it, but I gotta tell you, like, there was so much drama, and I feel like that was in a way maybe what. I mean, you had to make a movie, you had to make something watchable, and it was just, I was like, oh no, please don't do this, don't do it. And then they picked specific people, but yeah, no.
Well, tell everyone what it is. Most people probably don't know. You don't mind.
Anarcho Poco is.
Hello, my name is George Dean here. Welcome to Politics on the Prairie. We have a great guest today.
Joseph said the ultimate goal, but it's basically an annual meeting where
Welcome to
anarchists
Politics
all
on the
over
Prairie,
world
brought to you by the
come
United
to
States
talk
Association
and
of
do
Gun Owners.
stuff and
In the modern world, your
workshops
family's first defense.
I mean, sing, song, eat, whole nine in not in the United States. I see another one, a lanternfly. These things are so fat.
It's in Acapulco, Mexico. Hence the name. Anarchism mixed with Acapulco.
So, Serendipity, if you wanted to do a clickbait title, you could say all of Clubhouse got doxxed, massive dox leak. Like, that would really stir the pot.
Massive data leak.
No, dox leak. You could say dox and data leak. But dox is an interesting word, a 3-letter word, which is new to the English language, I believe. Dox.
Apparently, I have a clickbait title already.
Oh, that's true. That hashtag is actually very much in the muff.
Hey,
I had a C to the word dog, so it's French.
have you been to any other quote unquote in the United States, like anarchist?
No, I would like to. I haven't. I've followed some of those online communities. Like I follow the New Hampshire Free State Project and Liberland in Europe and that kind of stuff. But I haven't actually physically been. I would like to.
Very cool. Well, if you next year, if you decide, we should meet up. You should also take a look at Patrick Smith. Are you familiar with Patrick Smith?
No, but I'll write it down.
What about Larkin Rose?
Mm-mm.
What about Mark Passio?
No, but I'm slightly getting more embarrassed as you keep going.
No, it's okay. They're all different flavors. They're all going to offer you a different flavor. So, Patrick Smith is the choice.
Bima, let me ask you a question. How do you think one can create the most value possible on Clown House for the limited amount of time that we all have here, for the rest of our lives? But how do you think somebody creates as much value as possible on this app?
Well, that's embarrassing because what I want to say is exactly what I don't do.
So what is it that you don't do? Bima.
It's embarrassing.
Go ahead, Bima. Tell everybody the truth. What is it that you don't do?
I think I should listen more and talk less and offer information or quote unquote value.
I don't think that first Bima, I don't think that first part works, listen more, talk less. I don't think that that's going to work either.
You don't think that part works?
No, because what you're doing is technically listening to yourself when other people are talking to you, meaning that if you're not reading a book, it's still a little bit like listening to yourself because there's no script. So I'm just saying the script is how you create the highest value. If you work in script writing or in film production, the script is, the charter or the document of communication that all of the actors are utilizing to create that value. So I think those same rules apply here on Clown House.
But value's subjective. So people, it really depends on your purpose. Once you state your purpose, then we could talk about value creation, because sometimes people just want to be, like I've been accused of being an attention seeker. Oh, you're just an attention seeker. Yeah, I was in a very low state of my life, and I was trying to escape my mind, and that's exactly what I came on here to do, is to fucking, yes, absorb it, talk to me, get me out of my head. That's exactly what I want to do. And then there's also, like, you just want to learn. You want to talk to other people. That's a different type of, a goal or a purpose. So it really depends. Oh, she got out. It really depends on the purpose, ultimate purpose. So,
Well,
you read us the, Tao Te Ching, right? Tao Te Ching, right? So we went through that together.
Well, the purpose.
And then I was thinking, like, what if we apply it to anything? Like, let's talk about, like, the application post. And I'm surprised we never had that discussion. And I was disappointed because it was just like we read it and then that's it, right? But did everybody want to do that? No. People just want to do what the hell they want to do.
Well, that's do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That's a good rule, but I'm just saying that the question was how does one create the highest value utilizing this app? Because this deals with value creation, because if you can create great value here, you can create value anywhere, off of this app, because this is a difficult experiment to run to try to create that high value, because most people are passively using the app as opposed to actively, which is really reading a book. I hate to keep going back to this amazing thing called book, but in the muff, you can always take a book and, read a book in the muff.
So you're saying that everything needs to be scripted, like a radio show? Sir?
Yeah, I would submit or suggest that people on Clubhouse spend as much time reading books and scripts as much as possible, because if you've been here 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, you've already heard every major speaker say their elevator pitch, which is their pattern, and they will keep making those patterns over and over and over again. Therefore, every conversation you hear, from now and into all the future, it's still always going to be the same pattern. So the only way.
Do you know what though? I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I do recognize that I did that. But listen, the thing is, it's just you're never gonna win depending on what type of circles you're in. Perfect example is yesterday. I'm not gonna say any names, okay? But yesterday, a person had held a room, a recorded room.
Wait, you can't bring drama in. You're breaking rule number 9, Bima.
No, it's not drama. I'm giving you an example.
Can I speak to your shift supervisor, Serendipity? Because in my opinion, you're about to break rule number 9. I just want a ruling. You're not a super mod.
Okay. So I'll try to rephrase it. So I'll just get to the point, nit and gritty. Thank you for letting me rephrase this. I have read from books information like which are deliberate rooms that are held specifically for education and sharing and rational discussion, Socratic dialogue. And I've read from a book and read out the information, and I get accused. All you do is read from a book. You don't, no thoughts of you just can't win.
Yeah, that's what the Dhammapada says. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But what I'm saying is, reading a script is like putting more code into this conversation. And if you want to change the software, you have to put, more code or script into the situation, which is you. So this is all just about self-development, personal improvement. finding peace, finding silence, stillness, strength, flexibility, those types of, positive linguistic words, which a lot of people on this app don't hear. All they hear is noise signal.
I think though, then let's think about that, because then maybe that's an element that they're looking for. Because they could just go, I mean, like, we have all of these other amazing podcasts and audiobooks and YouTube. They wanted something scripted, they would just go there, but they're coming here for real-time discussion. They want to hear how real people are responding, their impromptu responses, how people think. It's different. So I would have to push back on that.
I know, but what I'm saying is we're so patternistic because that's kind of what energy is in a way. It's a consistent repetition. So I'm just saying that unless people start using this app to read books, and or you don't follow rule number 9 and you bring in drama from old rooms, which is basically running our memory systems, you'll be back out of the now. And when you're out of the now, there's less joy, control, splendor, happiness, less of a foundation, and you're out of your kingdom. So I'm just saying that in the muff is the best place to be.
That's hilarious. I love the last plug, absolutely. But here, let me ask you this, okay? Do you feel, you mentioned control, and you really push hard for this, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just curious about your feeling for the need to push this. Like, what is it doing for you? Like, what are you using that campaign for? Specifically the campaign to try to get people to read or script their communications on Clubhouse. What are you using that for?
Well, this is really just a conference call. So it's just free VoIP. But we have made it into a game because we are such social creatures. And, if you're hyper.
Like, does it serve a need for you to uh, promote this campaign? Like, what does it do for you in your mind?
Well, I'm killing two birds with one stone because as I run, I'm also recording political sentiment, political discourse, political topics, political activity, as well as homicidal ideation. So I'm literally capturing the entire spectrum of the American, thought from male to female across the board. It's just interesting. This is the way I view my observations in my own scientific, experiment. Because if you're a scientist and you believe in, the scientific method, and you took those courses and you learned the processes to try to develop hypotheses and theories based off of your observations and repeatable experiments. What I'm saying is people just keep running the same experiment here on Clubhouse, and they don't know that because they're oblivious.
I think that's assumption, to say that they don't know that, we really don't know what anybody knows. We can't pretend to be in somebody's mind. But also, you come and, we're just talking about why you want to run this campaign all the time. Is it potentially that's how you feel that you offer value to Clubhouse?
No, I asked you, how does one create the highest value when you use this app? I would suggest that it's pointless to use this app unless at some point in time you do the activity or action or say the words that create the highest value for yourself and for other listeners. So shortly, after we finish this little Q&A, I'm going to read to you what's called a poem from a book.
Do you think that this is more about you than about how other people communicate? They say good ideas don't require force. Or they also say things like lead by example. So,
Yeah, if I read you a poem, I am not just telling you, I'm showing you. So that's how I would lead by example, is read you a poem.
All right, I hope it's a good poem.
Okay, it is a good poem. It is called, it's called Clubhouse by Mojo.
Oh my God.
It's a meditation. It's actually called Aha, but I hope you like it. So take the deepest breath of the day through your nose. Hold it for 10 seconds. There are 7 keys to the great gate, being 8 and 1 and 1 and 8. First, let the body of thee be still, bound by the cerements of will, corpse rigid, thus thou mayst abort the fidget babes that tease the thought. Next, let the breath rhythm be low, easy, regular, and slow, so that thy being be in tune with the great sea's pacific swoon. Third, let thy life be pure and calm, swayed softly as a windless palm. Fourth, let the will to live be bound to the one love of the profound. Fifth, let the thought divinely free from sense observe its entity. Watch every thought that springs, enhance hour after hour thy vigilance. Intense and keen, turned inward, miss no atom of analysis. Sixth, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. So like a flame, straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy, prolong thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God should he distract thy attention from the chosen act. Last, all these things in one overpowered, time that the midnight blossom flowered. The oneness is, yet even in this, my son, thou shalt not do amiss. If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root, discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness. Pierce to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master I revere, thy radiance that rolls afar. O clubhouse brothers of the silver star.
Serendipity out the room.
So let me ask you, would you be able to simply just give us in a couple words the 7 keys, since you read it?
Yeah, I can read you what's in the glossary, some words.
Well, what about in your own interpretation? The 7 keys, go.
Well, what I just read you is a script to induce a deep state of relaxation, because it is a numbered breathing list on how to, what you could call like activate your third eye or your, crown chakra, or it's a way to induce a state of relaxation. It's a meditation. So, and there's intelligence in what I just read you, it's saying go with the flow, be the power of the Pacific Ocean. So it's a way
I mean,
to,
like, I took notes. So I have an idea. It was, I think I missed one, but I have my 7, so I'm just wondering, since you read it, could you just give us the 7?
well, again, this is a script for meditation.
Maybe we need to read it again.
I don't want to read it again, but you could tell us the words that you put down in your notes.
So I was like the things that you were saying, I was putting them as you were saying them. So piece by piece, let what is it? So first, let the body be still. Then let the body breathe. Then create, be pure and calm. And then I missed the fourth. And then the fifth was think divinely free. Then the sixth was, I wasn't really sure what they meant by the sixth, but I feel like it was just, the idea was to just think about one thought, just think of a single idea, because it said, on one thought securely pinned, still every whisper of the wind. And so that's why I was like, I guess that's what it meant. And then the next was, which I'm assuming was the seventh, was let ecstasy prolong and the meditation steep and strong, which I'm not even sure what that meant. It felt like, beyond, I don't know, maybe you're in a different state of consciousness at that point. So that's what I got from that.
You took that serious, I mean, like, you really followed that. That's pretty impressive.
Having a tantra poetry section. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're doing some in the muff Kundalini serpent energy meditation work here. And Bhima just hit the nail on the head. It is about transforming consciousness, but I think if you really want to get in the muff, I mean, from my life, as JB likes to say, it's just my lived experience. If you want to live in the muff, I just think being a gentleman is always the optimal way, to get in the muff and to stay in the muff.
I can't take this room name no more. Everything contacts at the muff. It all starts in the muff and it always comes.
Could you change the title to Tantric Muff? You don't have to, but
Come on, go for it. You're an admin in this house. It's your house. Go for it.
oh, I'm an admin in here. Okay,
I think Roger said you are. I believe so.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, Brent.
Hey.
I got a question for you, Brent. If you took the metaphor simile that the Cracker Barrel is America, and we made you the CEO of Cracker Barrel, what would you do to turn the ship around, to turn that company upside down and make it profitable again, to grow the business, Brent? What would you do?
A place where people go, so it's to be like the same. So I would probably keep it the same and just let the profits go back. I don't even know. I mean, what was it profitable when they made all these changes? What were the earnings?
So what you're saying is you don't have a good answer. That's what I got out of what you just said.
I think what I'm saying is, I like Cracker Barrel. I didn't see the need for the current changes.
You mean you wanted them to keep it racist and a Confederate restaurant?
Sure.
Well, Hakima, what do you think about that, Hakima?
Hey, look at my PTR, John. Let me know what you think about that. And back for the record, that
Oh,
is the
shit.
real thing. And the police, a police department, police in the city next door to me, this is what they put on their Facebook page. And it's like a predominantly black city, so it's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, I don't know. To me, Cracker Barrel, it pokes fun at white people, but it's just, I don't even think, the two words alone, Cracker Barrel, interesting words because when I have a cup of chili, I like to, crush some crackers and put it on top of my chili. Anyways, Brent, my point is you didn't have a good response with regards. I mean, your response was good, and you said I would leave it alone, and not change a thing because it's already got consistent earnings. This rebrand, dropped the stock 10-20% and wiped out about $1 billion in market cap. So I'm just saying that, if you were to use that metaphor and simile for the United States federal government, maybe your analysis is correct. But I would just say to just leave it alone is not, wouldn't be a good idea because to borrow $2 trillion a year is not an optimization of operations or the spend. So it doesn't need a rebrand. It needs to stop borrowing and stop spending. I also want to give a big shout out to Baby JB in the audience. Forget about it. So, Dr. Jordan, what'd you do last night? And when are you going to change your t-shirt? I think you might need a t-shirt rebrand change here on your Clubhouse profile.
I was home. I was home last night.
What do you think about Howard's PTR? I mean, Howard, do you think people actually think you look like a cartoon?
It doesn't bother me. I've had it for a long time. Hey, Dr. Jordan, long time, no talk. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Hope you're well.
Yeah, hey, and the candidate, how much, have you measured how much support you lost the other day on the Critical Thinking Forum where you inaccurately accused Merrill of something that she never said? How much support did you lose?
It's not about how much support I lost. It's not about how much support I gained. What's important is if somebody has TDS on their heads all the time and all they do is think about TDS, and somebody comes in there and interrupts their pattern and their repetition and their duplication and spam and tries to show them that they're wasting their time saying the same thing every single day in just a slightly different way. Maybe I helped wake somebody up, and if that means I had to lose a little support for the campaign, Howard, well, I'm glad to do it. And pretty soon I'm going to read another poem, Howard, and interrupt your pattern as well.
Okay, well, I didn't see you as the candidate of always trying to bend the truth or not telling the truth, but this is one example where you're admitting that you basically were inaccurate, but you had a reason for it. So, interesting to know. Thank you.
And I want to thank you for contributing to the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. Howard, your donation will be filmed as we spend it, live on the ground in Rockford and in Peoria, Illinois.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best. Again, you have an opportunity to do something different. Let's just hope you think it through strategically and not just impulsively.
Yeah, unfortunately, I ask people all the time. A lot of people have to schedule everything in advance. And I find that to be really annoying because people can't be impulsive. And I think that at this point, at 37 trillion, being impulsive is a requisite for the change that's coming. But Howard, I also want to let you know, you just broke rule number 9. So please refer to the rules section. Moderators, if Howard breaks the rule again, he's been warned and you'll be put in the goo.
No, that's okay. I mean, you guys can do it. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to give that feedback and say hello to Dr. Jordan. Thank you.
You're welcome, Howard, to stay and to hang out. And, he went back to listening. Dexter, and I found this bird, this little baby bird, on like the pavement, and I was like, what am I need to save it, right? I don't know how to save a baby bird, so I reached out to a bunch of people to see if they would be willing to, do like a rehabilitation thing. Nobody wanted this bird, this little baby bird, but it was so strong. It was so strong. And if it looked sick or ill, it was. I'm gonna PTR how little this thing was. And it looked like it had been. Your opinion, I'd say probably you could tell me, but it looked like it was born within the last 48 hours. Born out of the egg,
Get some advice from ChatGPT. If anybody else has some answers, they
Well, the key is feeding it. It's not that it won't be accepted by its parents. It's that it needs to be nourished correctly.
I forget Dr. Jordan. This is his subject.
Okay, I'd like to contribute to the Tantric Muff with a very quick little poem.
What you got, John?
Okay, this is called Like This. This is Rumi. So take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. Those who don't feel this love pulling them like a river, those who don't drink dawn like a cup of spring water, or take in sunset like supper, those who don't want to change, let them sleep. This love is beyond the study of theology, that old trickery and hypocrisy. If you want to improve your mind that way, sleep on. I've given up on my brain. I've torn the cloth to shreds and thrown it away. If you're not completely naked, wrap your beautiful robe of words around you and sleep. Stay together, friends. Don't scatter in sleep. Our friendship is made of being awake. The water wheel accepts water, and turns and gives it away, weeping. That way it stays in the garden, whereas another roundness rolls through a dry riverbed looking for what it thinks it wants. Stay here in the muff, quivering with each moment like a drop of mercury. I was dead, then alive, weeping, then laughing. The power of love came into me, and I became fierce like a lion, then tender like the evening star. He said, "You're not mad enough. You don't belong in this house." I went wild and had to be tied up. He said, "Still not wild enough to stay with us in the muff." I broke through another layer in the muff into full joyness. He said, "It's not enough." I died. He said, "You're a clever little man, full of fantasy and doubting." I plucked out my feathers and became a fool. He said, "Now you're the candle for this assembly in the muff." But I'm no candle. Look, I'm scattered smoke. He said, "You are the sheikh, the guide, but I'm not a teacher. I have no power." He said, "You already have wings. I cannot give you wings." But I wanted his wings. I felt like some flightless chicken. Then new events said to me, "Don't move. You are in the muff. A sublime generosity is coming toward you." And old love said, "Stay with me in the muff." I said, "I will. You are the fountain of the sun's light. I am a willow, shadow on the ground. You make my raggedness silky. The soul at dawn is like darkened water that slowly begins to say, "Thank you, Thank you. Then at sunset again, Venus gradually changes into the moon, and then the whole night sky. This comes of smiling back at your smile. The chess master says nothing other than moving the silent chess piece. That I am part of the ploys of this game makes me amazingly happy in the muff.
Now, what word you something too much for that many times? What was the actual word?
I was just adding, I was pretty much adding it. I wasn't substituting.
Okay, gotcha.
But those are pretty powerful, aren't they? Rumi is a very, very powerful psychology and wisdom poetry.
You play chess, John?
No, I don't play, I've played many times, but it's been many years since I've spent time playing chess. I would call Clubhouse, the new video game that I play. I've stopped everything else. Clubhouse is, a very fun game because it's a very controlled environment in a way. I am getting on big X stages. However, the toxicity in those rooms are incredible, and it's like rabid Jew hating, like foaming at the mouth Jew hate people nonstop on Jewish people. Jews, nonstop. Jews is the news. News of the Jews. Like, that's the show. News of the Jews. That's all they talk about. Every single other sentence ends with the Jews. And so that type of insanity to me is very difficult to deal with. But I view it as like hyper polarized political communication. And so if you can basically still communicate with the worst people in the world, like that story of the black guy who made friends with the KKK and then they disbanded because they were like, now we're friends with Hakima. And so he broke up the gang, with love. So I think if you can force love into the script, like kind of like I just did with Rumi there, you can disrupt a lot of these spaces in a way. It's because it's all just a long sequence of words and the delivery of those words. So there's a way to hack these rooms by reading books. That's my theory.
I think my edits to the title, though, have perhaps shadow banned us. I don't know yet.
Hey, I have a question for you. Oh, Dr. Dunn, this was the little bird that I found, and he is just so strong. And I was so sad because none of the rehabilitators wanted him. They were just like, no, we got enough. It looks like a regular house sparrow. So I couldn't find his nest. I tried. And so, you wouldn't believe it. An angel from, I think it was Facebook, messaged me and was just like, hey, check out this person's rehabilitator. And she's not like, and she's just kind of like a person who knows how to do this type of thing. And I texted her, I said, hey, I got this house sparrow, you want it? And then she said, oh, it was an emergency. She's taking care of a doe. A baby doe had just broken its leg. And anyway, she took it.
2,000 years ago, a man named Jesus shook the foundations of power so profoundly that they had to kill him.
I guess.
But what the churches never wanted you to know is that Baruch Spinoza, arguably the most dangerous philosopher in history, deciphered who Jesus really was.
But anyway,
and what he discovered is so explosive.
I heard that it's still alive and it's doing great, and I'm so excited because that's just awesome. Oh, and Mojo, my question to the last poem you read, who do you think he is? Who is the he?
It could be 1 to 3 people.
Okay.
It could be infinite people. The he is just a placeholder, but you can even subvert that. So, again, this is all like a reconditioning and a reframe. People use these scripts to do therapy for themselves and for other people. So, to try to like pin somebody down, it's really a question of, I think it's just information exchange, what you can pick up from it. Because what I'm trying to do is force the positive. Because in the muff, if you break rule number 9 and you refer to something in your memory from a former rule, you are from former room. You're no longer in muff. You're not in the now. If you're in the now, you're in the muff.
So who did it mean through your idea when you were reading it? Who was the he? What was the he represented by?
Well, I can just read you more, but I think, part of the problem is asking questions.
It's a problem to ask questions?
That's what a very smart woman told me once as I was trying to get her to kiss me in my car. She said, I feel like the problem is people ask questions.
I think people don't ask enough questions.
No, it's better to read a book than it is to ask a question.
I love books, John, but there's a lot of books out there that is bullshit. Like all books are not created equal.
No, I know. It's like a clubhouse room. You go into a library, there's a million books, you come into Clown House, there's a million clown rooms, and it's up to you to say, okay, this section over here, these are the high value books. Therefore, these are the high value conversations, in Clown House, in the Clown Tent. So, in the muff, you will find intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, and comprehension.
But your premise that this is I don't entirely understand the Clown House label or moniker because I never, when I came on here on this app, I don't know, 12 years ago, I thought I had no expectations that this was going to be, that intellectualism would prevail in any way. Not that I'm calling myself an intellectual, I just, my expectations were these would just be random people. So, I don't know.
It's funny you said that.
So I can't think.
It's funny when you said that because I was thinking earlier that when I think Ben was asking John, I forgot what she asked him, but it's like what you want, John, you want Clubhouse to be the way you want it to be, which is fine, man. I would like to be way more intellectual, so it's like because it's not the way you see it. You see it as a Clown House. But like Dr. Jordan said, I came up here with no expectations, whatever the fuck it is. And that's what it became. But I'm not critiquing you. I'm just saying I think that's the way. Act the way you act and see it the way you see it because it's not what you expected.
Well, what I'm trying to do is subversively make a point that we all share common and universal truths, which supersede anybody's individual perspective. So it's a little bit like reverse engineering identity itself, because I'm about to update my PTR with a clown, and the clown is basically a magician or the fool, which is the first step, in I guess you could say transcending the void. So I'm playing a game, as you are playing a game, but I'm trying to, in a way, one up you in the game preemptively. And you just don't know it, but there are preconditions to this game because there are rules of communication, or you could say laws of communication. And I think the more that you understand the technical aspects of communication, the more effective you'll be in your word choice or your thoughts. Because you want to basically save time and kill two birds with one stone in all your community. And the fact that I film all of Clubhouse, I've created this like parallel mirror of Clubhouse across multiple platforms. Uh, I don't know. It could be a me problem, but I think I've like basically manipulated a lot of people in a way that they're uncomfortable with. And I have forced them into this parallel game that they involuntarily joined up, and are doing as every time they come on here and speak because everything I'm recording it all. So, there's a lot of new videos out on the YouTube from the past 48 hours and really from the past 2 weeks. So, for the past 48 hours, I have spent many hours. I have put thousands of videos from private to unlisted, and now they're all public. So, there's a lot of videos of Clubhouse out right now of all the drama from the past 2 weeks. And, it's all on YouTube.
I do think you pissed a lot of people off with recording because they wanted to come out. Excuse me. They want to come in and say anything they want to say, just be stupid, silly, racist, whatever they want to be. By you recording that, they feel limited, like you done fucked it up for them. Like they came here to be ignorant, but your recordings may hold them accountable one day, so they pissed off at you about it. But I look at that, that's their problem though, because if you want to be racist, just be racist and stand on that shit. Don't hide it. Be who you are.
Well, unless I have actually used your legal name in a YouTube video, in my opinion, you're totally anonymous because nobody who watches this in India or Singapore or Indonesia or, no people who are on YouTube aren't going to, they don't care who you are. In fact, they just want to click the fuck away and they don't want to listen to your, drama, your drama show. So,
100%.
yeah. See, the thing is, they hate me personally because they know that, like, I've, essentially replatformed them for all time unless they can get those YouTube accounts deleted. And there's not just one, there's like at least 10 people that would probably prefer that I was deleted and deplatformed. But I don't think you can actually achieve any power in this game unless you're kind of doing what I'm doing, which is basically just live streaming and recording what I'm listening to. And so I'm just saying there's a great advantage in recording what you listen to. And if you really think about it, it doesn't really take any time or effort to record what you listen to. So I'm just saying that if you've never experimented with recording everything you're listening to, you should try it and see how it, changes the game for you.
I would just like to make an announcement. Pepe and the Whole White America House were just clipped from Clubhouse.
They were just clipped again?
They removed the whole house.
The whole house, wow.
The whole house is all gone.
I think that's uncalled for. Like I'm no fan of Pepe, but as far as I know, he was reading like from articles there, but I don't see why that was necessary.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very rare that you actually see Clubhouse of a whole house and just really kind of shocked.
It was funny. I was in the room yesterday in his room, and he had I see Pepe as a fucking racist, and people had their own opinions, but he had a couple black dudes in there just like his bodyguards, like attacking people that say something about Pepe. If you disagree with KK, one dude was going in Jay room attacking Jay because of Pepe. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, why do y'all? That shit was weird. Like, he had his own little pit bull. It was 3 black dudes. It was fucking crazy to me.
Well, Pepe also got clipped, it appears. And so I am sure right now Pepe is at home just shaking, going, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I just got a friend request from a Pepe PayPal just about 10 minutes ago, so maybe he already got it.
Well, I just looked for that account. Maybe, is he still here?
So I have a question to change subject just for a quick second, because I'm driving, and tell me if the background noise is bothering you. But do you guys follow Dennis Prager at all?
No.
I know who he is. I haven't saw him in a while.
I mean, I thought he was like nuts and like blah blah blah. I'm not on his side of the aisle, but I listened to a talk that he gave at St. Petersburg College in Tampa, St. Pete, Florida, and this guy, it was pretty impressive. There weren't really politics, but I'd like to find out what I can if they're commenting in the section I can't read. But Dennis Prager is very interesting, and it was a great speech. So.
Well, what did he say that was interesting to you?
Well, he wrote a book about happiness, and so he's a conservative talk radio host. He was born a modern Orthodox Jew, or born into modern Orthodoxy, and he has this whole concept about like being happy. Well, first of all, he was ahead of his time with regard to Hamas and Israel because, so were others, but he was like, how can you be one country? How can Israel not be the underdog when they're surrounded by Arab countries? Now, I'm not endorsing the war and what's happened to Palestinian civilians, blah, 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 but it was almost like he knew this was coming. Sorry, I'm not being very articulate because I'm driving at the same time here. But anyways, I'll try and share the YouTube when I get a chance. But if anyone has feedback about Dennis Prager, I'd be very interested. Basically, his premise is that if you're happy, you make other people around you happy. He was hilarious. He's like, two moody people cannot get married. A moody person and a non-moody person can get married. A non-moody and a non-moody can get married, but two moody people know better than to marry each other. And it was just kind of a funny, it was kind of just a funny conversation about happiness and the impact of happiness on the world. But the truth of the matter, and he wrote a best-selling book. Other books have been about Israel, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't know much about him. Now he's had like a terrible accident and he's now like a quadriplegic, but a very interesting guy.
So going back to what Serendipity just announced, if you look at that X post I made last night because I was live streaming Pepe's room, and this video on X has gotten a lot of views, or it's a link to YouTube, but I definitely live streamed Pepe last night. Then he ended it as I was out last night, because when I'm out on a Saturday night or a Friday night and I look at my live stream back at home, if somebody's playing Taylor Swift and they nuke my live streams, like that makes, my life. It doesn't change anything. It's annoying because I like to know that I'm killing two birds with one stone. Hacker's got some harsh words of criticism in the chat. Wow, Hacker. I don't know where Hacker went, but... So anyways, what's everybody doing the rest of the day? Welcome to In the Muff, Joe B. This is rough, thick, poetic, tantric, puffy muff. And this is Clown Mojo. Mojo the Clown. Sometimes I go by the name Point. Everybody hates me because I'm on TV. And you're all just a bunch of stupid dummies. Clown Mojo didn't want it to be this way. Mojo the Clown wanted everybody to be happy, but there just
That's
now. This is Clown Mojo. Mojo the Clown. Joe Beer, you're on mute if you're saying something. All right, everybody, I hope Mojo the Clown wants you all to know he's praying for your health, your wealth, your love, your peace of mind, your happiness, and your strength. I hope you find more flexibility, more courage, more splendor, more equanimity. But stop hating me just because I'm on TV, you big stupid dummies.
So, Congressman, who objected? Like, how much audio did you get of the drama that unfolded?
Oh, a lot, because I film it all on 13 different phones. So, and because of Anonymous, I catch it all. So there's nothing that I don't, record, and I'm literally here 18 hours a day recording.
What are some of the highlights that would be like Clubhouse highlights that people would get, or might shock people?
I don't think anything really. I think people who have never heard this would just say, "What are these people arguing about and screaming about?" Are always regularly like, "What is this? This is just a bunch of people screaming." They can't understand the context because there's too much background network between the speakers that random people who come across the videos, they say, I don't understand this. Like, this is insane. Like, what is all this? They can't figure out the context or who the speakers are, because it's like walking in on a play and not knowing the name of the play or anything. But I think that's okay. And I think it's, art. So I'm just saying I've captured people's artistic endeavors. And it's unfortunate that they're also not capturing their artistic endeavor, because I think they're losing, all their time. Like, why would you come on here and create all this art but not have a product after you create it? It just disappears. So replatforming it is the way to go.
Well, this is where I differ a bit. I mean, it's like, where's the productivity in necessarily watching a TV show that's like mindless, right? Like, my question is, are you building more? Are you building more neural connections and by engaging in conversation late at night when the benefits of engagement versus watching like a mindless TV show? And maybe you could argue the TV show is much more productive use of time, but I'm not so sure that people who have are home at work trying to regulate their emotions, they're sitting there being entertained. I mean, it's entertainment, I guess, is what I'm getting at. It's entertainment that you're engaging with, not unlike video games.
Well, if I were to go to the casino and play a slot machine, I would record myself playing the slot machine, because I want to, I'm paying to have that experience, but I also want to capture it with a camera. So I'm just saying, El Normo's here, who is a videographer, filmmaker. I think he would agree with me. It's better to kill two birds with one stone than just, kill no birds or one bird.
Hi, El Normo. Sorry, I'm driving, so I didn't see you come in.
Hi there. I just arrived. It's okay. Nice to see everybody.
Hey, El Normo. Happy Sunday.
Hey. Happy Sunday to you.
Dr. J, were you all in the middle of a conversation? I'm sorry, I was on the phone. I have a question.
No, go ahead. I'm driving, so I'm focused on driving, but I can answer the question.
I was encouraged to ask you to describe the nature of narcissistic love bombing.
Okay, well, first of all, keep in mind I'm not a clinical expert, but narcissistic love bombing is when really a sociopath or narcissist or someone with a cluster B personality disorder is trying, or anyone is trying to engage a person and use charisma and charm to make them feel like they're the best thing on the planet, and that's how they woo them and court them.
Okay. All right, that's easy enough.
Yeah. I mean, you can love bomb something like a manager, a hiring manager can love bomb someone, and then they kind of pedestalize them, and then they eventually turn on them.
Okay. That's the nature of it, though, as far as like with a narcissist engaging in that type of behavior, is that there's an ultimate end goal, correct?
Yeah. I mean, and they do it subconsciously. I mean, it's not. I don't think that it's like, okay, I'm going to plan this long game out. It's part of their it's the cognitive empathy, I think, where cognitive empathy versus emotional empathy. Cognitive empathy is being able to read people really well and take advantage of it. Emotional empathy is really feeling empathy. So
right.
This is why a sociopath, for example, is so charming that you want to be best friends or lovers with them, I suppose, upon meeting them.
Well, I think if you're a gentleman and you're intelligent or sophisticated, because it goes both ways, Dr. Jordan. A lot of women are sociopathic psychopaths. So that,
100%.
yeah. So what do you think is the alpha predator then? The, super sophisticated woman or the super sophisticated man? I mean, who's the actual apex predator?
Well, in my experience, the narcissistic woman is not going to harbor the traits of a man. They're going to be the damsel in distress, bringing that woman. The woman